Hello there, how y'all doing? And welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing great. Today I'm going to break from a little bit from what I usually do, which was do writing advice and do writing inspiration. Hence the title of the video, 5 simple words that can help you on your writing journey and inspire you to great things. And those 5 words are: someone else has done it. Get that? Someone else has done it. That's basically if you're thinking, can I really do this writing thing? Or you can apply that to just about anything in your life, whether it be, well, maybe not if you're 4'11" and you're thinking you could be an NBA basketball player. Kind of out of the question on that, but let's say there's a goal that you really do want to achieve, whether it be writing or anything else, and you think, can I do this? Well, you find someone who has done it before and you say to yourself, not think to yourself, because that's sort of, unless you're telepathic, you wouldn't be thinking to anybody other than yourself, but say to yourself, if that person can do it, why can't I? Well, you probably can, assuming you figure out what it is that person did to become successful and follow the same pattern that they did. So, kind of like if you want to be a musician, you got to do what famous musicians have done. And you have to ask yourself, be honest, if you really are willing to pay the price to get that. Like, let's say, for a musician, I remember reading about how Metallica would spend 300 days on the road, as well as Guns N' Roses would, when they went into a burger joint in the early days, they didn't get 5 meals for each, well, 5 meals, 1 for each person. They got 1 meal and split it up 5 ways. So each person got 1/5 of a burger. Would you be willing to do that? And so apply that to your writing. What did a famous writer do to become successful? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to become the next Stephen King or insert your favorite famous author in there. After all, not everybody gets to make the millions upon millions of dollars that they make. But let's say, maybe I don't really need to make Stephen King level of income. Maybe I just need to make 1%, or maybe even 1/4% of Stephen King income. Maybe. Something to think about. So, what exactly did somebody do like that? Well, you buy his book on writing, and a lot of it, I do believe he said, well, he would do about 2,000 words per day during his early days, as well as you also have to read a lot, because according to him, if you do not have the time to read, you do not have the time or tools to write. So, would you be willing to take the time to read during the day? That doesn't obviously mean that you, when you're at your job, instead of working on your job duties, you take out your Kindle or your phone and start reading away. Ha ha ha. Well, I'm playing hooky for my job. I'm going to write just because that's what they did. Or, if you also don't spend your job time working on your writing, unless it's on your break or lunch break or before then. So will you take the time to get your writing done as much as you can feasibly do, given your own circumstances? As realistically, back when Stephen King was writing, he was a lot younger than we were today. That's why we call ourselves the gray-haired writer. Younger than he is today, obviously, but also he would probably didn't have the job duties that a world-famous writer had, and also once they get to the millions of dollars in revenue and income, they have other people that can do it that can do their mundane daily tasks like their laundry and go get their groceries. Of course, these days we have Uber Eats and other stuff that can, and DoorDash and other things that can deliver our groceries and meals to us. But maybe we don't have the income to do that. But there's always time during the day that you can find. I did do a video, I do believe, a while ago about how to find the time to write. And stuff like I said, during breaks you can find at work, maybe get up an hour earlier or go to bed an hour later to work on your writing. Best time to do it is when you won't be interrupted. As in other words, another reason why you don't want to do it at your job, because you don't want to be working away on your book when you're and have your boss walk in and see you not doing your job, because then you might not have a job after you do that. But all in all, remember, if there's something you want to do and you don't know if you can do it, remember this well. As I said at the start, somebody else has done what you want to do. So figure out what it is they did to get there and then do it. So that's all I have for you today. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you in 7 days. I will. So long, everyone.